Okay, so today I wanted to focus on talking to individuals who are not Jehovah's Witnesses. You might be somebody that either works with a witness and just knows them to be a really nice person with high integrity. Not to brag, but that's kind of what they have a reputation for, unless you really start getting in deep. You might be somebody who's related to Jehovah's Witnesses. I have a coworker who was actually raised a witness, and I asked her a couple of months ago, if she still talks to her family and whatnot. And she said, she talks to her sisters from time to time, and she's like, I don't have anything against them being the witnesses. That's their choice. They're really good people. It's at work, so obviously I'm going to keep my opinion to myself. But I feel that they're very good people. I think they're very loving people. I think that they're stuck in a situation that they cannot fully comprehend, and they will defend it until the day they die. So before that, when that person's coming to your house, I do encourage people to be nice. I'm very kind to the witnesses. I speak with them frequently. I have a woman who comes by regularly. We're still at the point, she's really sure she's going to convince me on some things, and I'm really just going to keep on plugging away with the information that I have and continuing to be kind. And it also helps that every time she comes, she brings someone different. So I'm getting to plant seeds, I guess, with a number of people. And I think when they left last time, the sister she brought with her said, "Don't worry, Cass, she's not going to give up on you." And the woman who visits me says, "Well, what do you mean giving up? I enjoy talking to her." You got to listen to verbiage, because there's little verbiages like that she's trying to plant in me that, oh, I'm not here to convert you. I just really enjoy talking to you. And witnesses will try to find common ground with you when they come to your door. So again, I don't encourage, everybody deals with things how they choose to. A lot of ex-Jehovah's Witnesses have different means and ways how they need to cope and how they choose to interact with witnesses. I choose this way. So again, I enjoy religion altogether. So I also will talk with the Mormons. I'll talk to anybody that comes to my house, because I just enjoy discussing theology altogether. So I'm really going to strive to keep this video much shorter than my first one. And I just wanted to get right into it. And I'm going to show you this book. This is called The Reasoning from the Scriptures book. When I was a witness, this was one of my favorite books. And when I was questioning my faith and considering other options, this was also my favorite book, because I felt that I found a lot of information in the Reasoning from the Scriptures book that basically uses their own words against themselves. It references materials, and when it was just taken at face value by what's here in the book, it sounds very lovely, but it basically explains everything in here, from basically the principal subjects that Jehovah's Witnesses will at one point or another end up discussing, and with non-Jehovah's Witnesses. So this is kind of like their guideline. Okay, let me clarify. This was their guideline. The last time the witnesses came to my house, it happened to be on my front porch. I spent a lot of time outside, which is why I'm out here in my garage. I don't like being inside. But she saw my reasoning book and went, "Oh, that's really old. We don't use that anymore." And I said, "No, I'm not. It was one of my favorite books." And she said, "Well, it just has some outdated information." Now, I'm not going to go into that completely right now, but a lot of their outdated information is some of the false prophecies that they did that they no longer stand by. So they took out a lot of references to what ultimately would have led to the end of the world before now, based on this date of 1914. And since the world didn't end, I'm noticing in a lot of their new literature, those references are gone. So anyways, there's a number of reasons that they changed their material, but it's outdated. Still, to me, is a great resource. I love this book. So I did ask her, well, can you bring me what you do use? I want to make sure I'm up to date. They do have a replacement. So this book, What Can the Bible Teach Us? I don't like the format. It's very much like a lot of the old literature that they would have, where you read a paragraph, you answer a question, and it's kind of like a kindergarten book, you know, when they say Jane played with Spot. Jane had fun. Dick and Jane were at the river. And then the teacher might ask you, where were Dick and Jane? And your answer is, at the river. So this book reminds me of a lot of that. It's very, I don't care for it. It still touches on the same topics. What is God's purpose for humans? What is God's kingdom? The privilege of prayer. It's missing a lot. And so I completely feel it was a BS thing to give me this book that just touches on a lot of their doctrines, as opposed to this book, which tells you exactly what they believe and how they pitch it. So I'm going to give you an example or a couple of things, and I want you to think about this next time the witnesses are at your house. They completely script and plan what they're going to say to you. And in this book, the Watchtower also provides the publishers or the pioneers, which are the people that are visiting you, counter arguments for anything you might say, and it's word for word. Now, you might think, okay, well, a lot of jobs have scripting. You know, we want to make sure that we're all saying the same thing when we're at our job. We also want to make sure we have good troubleshooting approaches. That's awesome in the workplace. When I walk into Walmart, I expect the greeter to say, "Welcome to Walmart." It comes across very different when someone's coming to your home to discuss God, to discuss the fate of your future, your heart, and everything that you have to do to survive this world. And they pitch it in such a very loving and genuine way. So some of the things, and I haven't looked at this in detail in a while, and it just makes me laugh. There's an introduction for how to use this in the field ministry. And basically when you, hopefully you never go door to door. When they go door to door, which is just another term for them coming and bugging you Saturday morning, cracks me up. They have exact verbiage and terminology that they're going to use based on their surroundings, based on the times, what's going on in the world. So for instance, get a drink here. There's a section right here that they will approach, knock on your door, and when you open the door, we're talking to our neighbors about where to find practical help to cope with problems of life. Immediately they're trying to connect with you. They're saying they're talking with your neighbors. Salespeople do that when they come to my house and we notice your lawn, it has a lot of clovers in it or whatever it is. We're kind of new to the Boise area. We're not used to grass. But we notice there's a lot of weeds in your lawn. And we've been talking to your neighbors. And it's a tactic to try to make you feel, okay, there's a group and we want you to feel inclusive. So they immediately use we've been talking with your neighbors. They likely haven't actually been talking with your neighbors. They probably just had a few doors shut in their faces. But you'll notice that a lot. They will open with that. I'm glad to find you at home. I'm sharing with my neighbors an encouraging thought from the Bible. So sometimes they'll get directly into, we're here for the ministry. But what I was saying is sometimes it depends on the environment, what's going on in the world. So there's a whole section here on crime and safety. And they might come and say, "Hi, my name is Sister So-and-so. You know, I was coming in this morning and I noticed that a lot of people in your neighborhood is talking about," and then it literally in parentheses says, "insert recent neighborhood crime or other matter of local concern." Then say, "What do you think about it? Is there anything that you feel would help it make our lives more secure?" It's a way to open up conversation. The book literally tells them what to say. Here's one. "Did you read in the newspaper this week?" And then show an appropriate newspaper clipping. Basically, they are taught, they are trained to find common ground with you, to find something that interests you. It could be anything from family and children. We're talking to folks who are interested in how you can better cope with the problems of family life. Do you have problems in your family life? Doesn't everybody? So be prepared is what I'm saying. They're going to have pretty much anything from future and security. They will eventually, the whole purpose of having conversation with you is to get to we are offering you a free home Bible study, or would you be comfortable with me coming back so we can finish this conversation in detail? Or they want to come back. They want to make you an RV, a return visit, get you to come back so they can get you from the return visit into the study category. Now, for those of you that you already kind of know, not interested, I have my own beliefs. You know, maybe you've seen videos on YouTube about why you shouldn't join the Jehovah's Witness group. They're prepared for that as well. This book used to be carried in every book bag of every individual. I had it, I studied it. I was obsessed with this book. So they're prepared if you say you're not interested. So right here under this section, I'm not interested, they're going to say, well, what do you mean? You're not interested in the Bible, or is it religion in general? Every time that you have something to say, they're going to have a question. They're going to keep you engaged. And they're going to be very kind about it the whole time. You know, I ask that because we've met many who at one time were religious but no longer go to church because they see such hypocrisy in churches. Anyways, I'm not going to get into hypocrisy in churches. Don't for a minute, if you're someone that left another organization, whether it's baptism, Catholicism, Judaism, Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and you think because there's a lot of hypocrisy, Jehovah's Witnesses have just as much hypocrisy. Again, that's probably better for another video because I want to keep this one short if I don't expand it into a two-parter. There's like a whole section. Don't know how much you can see here. I'll probably do a screenshot. I mean, this is just the whole different bullet points of what they can say if you're not interested. So, oh, this is a snarky one. Is that your usual reply when Jehovah's Witnesses call? Have you ever really wondered why we keep calling or what we have to say? Somebody said that's snarky. If they say they're not interested in religion, Jehovah's Witnesses are going to say, I can understand how you feel. Frankly, the churches are not making this world a safer place to live, is it? Again, they're empathizing with you, getting on the same page with you, and showing what, yeah, no, I agree. Church is bad. Oh, God, I can understand. They've even have, if you say, I'm not interested in Jehovah's Witnesses, I can appreciate that. You know, I used to feel the same way. But just to be fair, I decided to listen to one of them. And I found out that I hadn't been told the truth about them. And then in parentheses, they're directed, mention a common false accusation and then explain what we believe. So I'm telling you, there's not this genuineness. I know that their spirit is genuine, but when they are coming to your door, they are coming with a purpose. They are coming, they're required to count their time and are accountable for how much time they put in. That means how much time they spend in the preaching work. They have to mark how much literature they put down, whether it's Watchtowers. Well, I think the magazines are categorized together, but books, how many return visits. Also, if you really, really don't want them to come back, directly say don't come back. And then they have to put you as a DNC, which is do not call. So when they work that territory again, it used to be, I think it's different now, you had to be pretty aggressive to be a do not call. But I think now you can simply say, do not come back here again. I don't want your people here. Or however you say it. And you can be put do not call. Again, I personally don't mind talking to them. So there's everything in here from arguments against, I have my own religion, I'm busy. Okay, then I'll be very brief. I called just to share one important thought with you. And then in parentheses, state the gist of your topic for discussion in about 2 sentences. So it's just like any other business. They have their scripting, and whatever it is that they're saying to get you engaged in conversation, I believe their intent is from the heart, but the words, it's not. And while those people directly at your door are not bad people, and they are not setting out to be like, ooh, another cult member. Their numbers are important, and they do work for a business. They work for free for a bigger organization called the Watchtower and Tract Society, and they answer to them. And when you it can get very easy to be sucked in, because a lot of people enjoy what is the word? They enjoy socializing, interacting with other people. I give my husband a hard time. He's Italian, New Jersey, loud. He loves talking to people, and I was like, oh, you would be prime for the picking if you go there. He resents me saying that. Doesn't mean anybody's vulnerable. It's just some people really enjoy having relationships and chatting with people. And that's probably one of the reasons it didn't work for me, because I don't like it, talking with other people. It makes me sound terrible, but it's just not my thing. I don't need to hang out with a bunch of people. I don't need a big group around me. Fellowship, that's the word I was looking for. Some people enjoy fellowship, and that's okay. But they will use that to get you coming back. So I do say be careful. Like, if you're not a Jehovah's Witness, I would not play ball with, oh, I can chat with them about some of the things I read on the internet about why they're not, it's not true. I still would say be careful. It's amazing how many people I have seen get pulled in, and we're intelligent people. You know, witnesses are intelligent. They're just like anyone else, and a lot of us have a need. And sometimes fellowship feeds that need. Sometimes hope that a loved one will come back to life feeds that need. There's a lot of things that come along with being a Jehovah's Witness. So hopefully you take some of that to heart. I will probably do another video about what they won't tell you during those first couple of visits. And if you do decide to study, there's a few things they're not going to let you know about. But I'll save that for next time. All right, bye.